Hey everyone, George with the Art of Water. Yes, I wanted to give you an update on a tank that I just built here. This is a 5-gallon nano tank. Just finished it up here yesterday. This is Dragonstone used in here with a little bit of driftwood and of course plants. Some of the plants, I can't get it all into the picture unfortunately because I've got some things next to it that aren't going to be very flattering to the video. The bottom substrate is fluval. They're Amazonian, which is a great substrate. I use it all the time. Very good, very rich for plants, so forth. There are some red cherry shrimp in here too, but these guys have just a little bit shy right now. Not sure why they're not popping out. I saw them earlier, so I know that they're fine, but everything in here has only been in here approximately 2 days now. So anyways, there were some questions about whether or not these two species are compatible in a nano tank of this sort. And I have had friends that have had experience with this and suggested doing this in this 5-gallon. Now, having said that, a 5-gallon, once we scape it, of course, we all know is not really a 5-gallon. It is more like a 3.5-gallon. So, overstocking this tank would be really easy to do. Now, these fish are not going to get much bigger than an inch on the celestial pearl Danios, and as far as the sparkling Gourami go, they are a semi-dwarf fish or a nano tank type fish that do really well in this environment. We have 3 of each in here. Now, a lot of people will tell you that these guys like larger schools of both. Neither of them are schoolers. They're not shoalers. They're not any of that. They're sort of independent fish in their own right. There's a little bit of territorial pecking going on here and there, but I've been watching it really closely and haven't seen any real problems. So I think so far so good. We haven't lost anyone. I did not want to go with any more than 3 of each because I know that if you get any more aggressive than that on that, you're really pushing to the limit this particular tank. Now, also, there are some algae eaters in here. I don't remember what we put in here for algae eaters. I'll have to get back to you on that, but if anybody wants to know what we're using for algae eaters in here, we do have a couple in here. They're bottom, fish, obviously, and I was a little concerned about that. But the bio load is not going to be a problem on this particular tank because it's been cycled for so long, and there just aren't any issues with that at all. We did some testing on the water yesterday. All the parameters were absolutely right on. Fish are really healthy. Fish are really happy. I'm happy with the way things turned out. Now, having said that, there are a couple more things to do. I have some plants that did not come in. They were supposed to come in at the same time the fish did, and they did not show up. So there will be some more carpeting plants in here the next time I give you an update on this particular tank. And we do have some stargrass, a small amount of that. As you can see at the top here, though, we do have some floating plants. This is great. This is absolutely fantastic for the celestial pearl Danio. They like to hide up in these sort of rooted areas of plants. This is a sea cabbage of some kind. I'm not familiar with the actual version of this particular thing. Unfortunately there's some light coming in from a small half moon window in my area here, so I apologize for that, and I hope you can see the fish pretty clearly. I can back it up a little bit maybe, and that might help. But having said that, it's really crucial, I think, to have some of these floating plants at the top here where these small Danios can go and hide. Now the Gouramis are not an aggressive fish, but in a tank this size, you're pushing it a little bit with 6 fish in a tank this size. But I do it all the time. I don't have any problems. Now, the issue that we might have with this over the long term is that I noticed that 2 of the celestial pearl Danios are male, and we've got 1 female. And I ordered just 1 male and 2 females, and unfortunately they got that order backwards. So they are sending me some more fish. They're a great company out of Arizona that I work with, and they are sending me some more fish. All of the Gouramis are females, or at least I believe that they're females. I hope that they're females. That's what I asked for, and the packing slip showed them as all females. I don't want to get into breeding either one of these fish right now. These are really just for my pleasure of looking at and experimenting with the nano tank sized aquarium, that these fish are generally considered a good choice to put in here. Like I said, there's only 6 fish in here that are swimming in the mid-range and the top range, along with some of this hanging vegetation at the top, which I think is a must for these kind of fish. Not so much for the Gouramis, but the Danios for sure. They do like that, just to feel safe and comfortable, and so we did provide them with that. Anyways, if you have any comments or questions about the success we're having with this tank, I will be giving an update probably in about 3 to 4 weeks as we get this thing a little bit more planted. Down in the front here, you can see we don't have a lot going on here as far as plants. I will be running CO2 on this. I run CO2 on most of my tanks. This particular one, I do believe that the CO2 is going to be a good addition for this to get these plants growing good, and making sure that these fish have an environment that is conducive to them being healthy and having a long life, or as long a life as they can possibly have. Anyways, this is George with the Art of Water. Please subscribe, make comments, and give me that thumbs up if you would, and I appreciate it. And again, if you have any questions or comments, get a hold of me, and I will make sure that I get back to you. Anyways, George with the Art of Water. We'll talk again soon.